What is going on, everybody? You sick, twisted freaks. Hope you're doing well tonight. It is Saturday night. I'm just hanging out in a little room here, a little studio, a playroom. That's what my wife calls it. Yeah, tonight we're doing a live stream. I am using a different webcam this evening. I am using the Canon M50. I want to see how that actually works for the live stream. Let this song play out here, get everything going. Hopefully this battery will last in the M50. I don't have the dummy battery to go in it, so I'm not sure exactly how long the battery's going to last. So if it dies out on me, no, that's all cool. That's all good. But, hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll hang in there for the duration of the live stream. Normally I stay on about 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes a little less. It just depends on how many people actually get in. This is a last minute thing. I hadn't really thought about doing one tonight, but I thought I'd jump in here. Why not? I'm sitting here. I'm just kind of monkeying around with audio and my video equipment. Figured, why not do a live stream? Let's talk about whatever's on your mind this evening. And if you join me tonight, please jump in the comments. And also, while you're here, if you do like any of the content that you see on my channel, other than just the live streams, please subscribe. Hit the notifications bell. That way, when I do go live again, or when I post new content, you'll get the notification. You can jump in here and join with me, hang out, and just talk, whatever. But tonight, we're just going to run our mouths for a little while. I say we. I'm the one that usually runs my mouth. You guys make the comments. So, again, I don't know how long the M50 is going to last, but I did want to use it for live stream because it does. I mean, you can look. I'm looking at it now on my screen over here instead of looking at you. I love the image quality of this. The only thing about the M50, when it does when you're doing the webcam feature like this, it only does 720. It won't do 1080, which is fine. And I probably just lost my feed. I just lost my feed. Please tell me I'm back. I can't tell if I am or not. And I had a little wonky cable issue there. Hopefully this thing has not went out on me. Yeah, I lost it. There it is. It's gone. Hopefully it's going to come back. Hopefully I'm not just talking to myself. But the only thing about the M50 that, again, I don't like is it only shoots a live stream or a webcam feature in 720. But I mean, that's easy to get around. I mean, everything's either in 720 or 1080 on Facebook anyway, so it doesn't really, or not Facebook, YouTube. Sorry, Facebook. Didn't mean that, Sanjay. But tonight we are hanging out. I don't really have a big topic to talk about tonight. I do have a lot of stuff that's on my mind. I do have a lot of crap that's on my mind, especially what's going on in the world today. If you've got any eyes to see and any ears to hear, you kind of see all of the hypocrisy and BS and crap that's been floated around. So again, I do have a lot of stuff that's on my mind. So if you jump in here and you got something we want to talk about, please keep me from going on a rant. And while I'm talking about that, let me get some coffee, because every time you're talking, you do dehydrate when you're talking. A lot of people don't know that, but it's weird. And you can always tell when you're starting to, you need water, you need something to drink, because you get clicky, your mouth dries out, and it sounds like garbage on a microphone. And you'll hear the clicks every now and then, especially if I get on a run and I'm just constantly running my mouth. But anyway, I hope this live stream looks good tonight. Normally I've been using my C920 webcam by Logitech, and it does a good job, but I have to mess around with the contrast, the white balance, and all the other things. And I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to use my Canon M50 tonight. Hopefully this is doing well. Hopefully the audio is coming through clear for you. Tonight I'm using just a inexpensive, not cheap, inexpensive dynamic microphone, my Behringer BA85A. I love this mic. It's got a good, clear sound. And I really cheat it. I hate to say that I do that, but I cheat the microphone, because the dynamic's going to, it's only going to do so much for you. So I run it through a DBX286, and to do that, I give it 48 volts phantom power. Don't need it, but I do use it from time to time. And then I'll use the inline preamp with it's a SE Electronics DM1 Dynamite. That's what they call it. But it really improves the audio quality. So if you're looking to do an inexpensive setup, you could do something, just the microphone itself is about $26, and you can pick it up anywhere that you can buy audio supply stuff. That's the only thing about it. When you hit this thing, it gets really loud. But tonight I'm just hanging out in the studio. Don't really have a big topic to talk about. If you got something you want to talk about, please jump in here and throw me a bone. I'll talk about anything, just about anything. I won't talk about anything, but I'll talk about just about anything. I don't know. Lots of stuff going on in the world today. It is a crazy place that we live in. oh my God, can you just imagine, having to deal with this, you know, 4 more years? My goodness, everybody's losing their mind. I think it's a sad state of affairs that we live in nowadays. All the stuff that's going on. Man, I think I'm losing my stream there. Yeah, I'm going to buffer a good bit. So if I'm buffering tonight, forgive it. It's going to be one of those things. I keep seeing it drop over here. I don't know if it says the internet connection is good. I think it might be YouTube, or maybe YouTube's censoring me. They do that, they do censor you. YouTube does censor people when they post content. They censor out comments. They censor out a lot of different stuff, which is fine. I mean, you can censor what you want to. I don't care. Take it out if you don't like it. It doesn't matter to me. You give me the opportunity to jump on here and voice my opinion about stuff, make videos and post content. That's cool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I know what I believe, I know what I think, and I know what the truth of things are, and that's okay. So you can cut all that out if you want to. But anyway, again, tonight was just an impromptu jump on here and do a live stream because I was sitting here in front of my computer and I said, why not? Let's just do it, because I haven't been doing a lot of live streams as of late. And I think a lot of that is just because of viewership. The viewers went up for a little while and then they come back down for a little while. And, so here we are. And I'm trying to get back into it. It's just, sometimes it's hard to, find the, I don't want to say energy, but find the creativity to jump on here and run your mouth for an hour. I usually do a pretty good job of it, but more times than not, I'm just rambling. So anyway, I hope this looks good. I hope that, the image quality is coming through okay. I can see a little snippet on my screen here on both my screens. So I kind of see what's going on, but, you don't really get the full effect of what you're seeing until you watch it in playback. It's kind of like using a camera that's got the little 3-inch view screen, like the Canon M50 I'm using tonight. It's kind of like watching or trying to take pictures and look at video clips on that, as you're doing it. And it's just like, yeah, that looks good. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. And then you put it back on your computer to edit or do whatever you're going to do with the video or pictures. Like, that's not so good. So, again, I hope this is coming through clear. I hope the audio is good. I'm a big audio nerd. I like to make sure that the audio is always clear, regardless of what the video looks like, because if the audio is not good and people can't hear you, they're not going to watch your crap, even if you're just rambling like I do most of the time. Anyway, no, I just think it's a crazy world we live in. I'm gonna dive into this for a little bit here. Everybody's pointing fingers. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got something to say. And it's maddening to a point where it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to tell things and to say things and to, have a, hey, Sophie, how are you? Hope you're having a good day today, Sophie. Hope everything's good with you in your world. Thanks for joining me again tonight. But tonight I'm just running my mouth. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot of stuff is bouncing around in this gray matter that I call my brain up here that resides in this head. So but anyway, Sophie, if you're here, thank you for coming in. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up, the like. That way, I know that sounds like I'm begging, please like my video, but I'm really not. It really helps the analytics, and it helps get you rankings and views and all that other stuff. I mean, we make content because we love to make content, or I do anyway. I don't know about everybody else, but I enjoy doing stuff like this. But you make content, because you enjoy it, but you also make it because you want people to see it. And that's how it kind of, it goes up that ladder. It depends on, there's a lot of different things. I mean, there's watch time, there's a rate of click-through rate. There's, who likes it, who doesn't like. It's a crazy thing. It's the craziest thing. YouTube's just it's weird, and they're constantly changing it. I don't, crochet. You know what, man? That is so cool, Sophie. My grandmother taught me how to crochet when I was a young lad, and that was many moons ago. And it's funny. I remember learning how to do that. I never got good at it, of course, but it was one of those things. Those are things you just don't teach children anymore. I mean, think about how many people are actually sitting down teaching their children to crochet. And it's very cool, people that can do it. I admire that, people that have the patience to, create from nothing to something. That's amazing to me. And so, very good. Good on you, Sophie. But Yeah, I remember my grandmother teaching me how to do that, and she was very patient. My grandmother was, she was the most patient woman I've ever met. Especially all the crazy stuff I did as a child. But she was always so patient and so giving and caring, and it was my childhood was great, man. I mean, we were dirt poor and didn't have anything, but my childhood was great. It was phenomenal. I used to get to do a lot of cool stuff as a kid, stuff that kids can't do nowadays, or I wouldn't let my children do nowadays. I mean, I was running crazy. But anyway, I don't know how did I get off on that tangent. Anyway, Sophie, I don't know how long I'm going to stay on. I generally don't tend to stay on too long. I do, there's one of my videos so dark. My aperture set too low. Crazy. Anyway, or set too high. But anyway, hopefully, Sophie, you can see the difference in the video quality tonight because I'm using a different camera. I kind of ranted about that a little bit at the beginning. I do like this Canon M50. This is probably, I've had a couple of cameras. I love this one so much. I mean, it's just so easy to use. You can do so much with it. It's versatile. The only thing about it is the kit lens kind of sucks on it because you can only go down to a 3.5 aperture. But that, again, that's easily solved by different lenses. But man, lenses are so expensive for these things. One day I'll get me another lens for it. I do have one, that I do shoot with a lot. It's a 35 millimeter, but it's not a Canon lens. It is a CCT lens. If you can see that. Yeah, it's a CCTV lens. Actually goes on the old video cameras that you see outside. And, you get an adapter for it, and it really works. It's a C-mount adapter, but it really works great with these cameras. The other negative to it as well is it's a manual focus. But if you use the zebra control in your Canon or any other camera that you're using, you can pull some amazing focus with this. And the aperture, 1.6. Amazing. It's a great little lens. You do have to set it a good distance away from it because it is 35 millimeter. And of course, with the Canon M50, it's it was APS-C sensor. Yes, that's what they are. I always forget. I always say ASPC. Why? I have no idea why I do that, but I do it all the time. I say it all the time. I'm going to turn my air conditioner back on because it's going to get kind of hot in here, but it's okay. It's warm down here. I wish they'd, that's another thing too. In my little room here, yeah, let me make sure it cut on. If you're going to use an air conditioner, get a remote. You don't have to get up. But, the cool thing about it, all right, cool. Yeah, but the thing about it is, growing up as a child, I had a wonderful childhood. It was a great childhood. I can't complain about that at all. But I got off on a tangent. I was talking about a camera lens. Yeah. Anyway, no. The Canon M50s are great. This is not an ad for Canon M50, by the way, but it is a great camera. I do love it. And there's a lot of offerings out there. There's some rumors that they're going to be an M50 Mark II. Well, that'll be one that I'll buy in another couple of years after it's old news, probably. My big thing right now is trying to find some different lenses that are not going to break the bank that I can use with the camera. See, the audio just got wonky because I had to turn the air on. One of the things that I am doing, I am starting a new podcast. I'm still going to do the Bearded Guy podcast. I love that podcast. I'm kind of taking a break. I'm doing like a seasons. So season 1, man, I've done like 20, 25 episodes, something to that effect, and it's time to take a break from it for about, a couple of weeks, maybe a month. And then I'll come back with a season 2 and then post new content there as well. But I'm going to keep doing little things like this. I can extract the audio and put it up there just to kind of keep I don't want to say, you keep it there because I'm paying for it. It's my podcast and they host it for me. I pay them to host it. They're not going to take it down. But, I want to keep posting little things there just to keep people interested. Hey, and let them know season 2 is coming. But I am starting another podcast. It's A Voice Above the Den. That is my new podcast. That'll be up in another couple of weeks. I do have the place marker on Buzzsprout for it, so I've held the name, reserved it. I'm doing the artwork for it right now. I'm also actually, getting into recording some episodes for it. I did a little brief intro episode for it tonight. I'm not going to post it yet, though. I'm going to wait till I get a little bit closer to launching it. But, the podcast is going to deal with, politics, entertainment, society as a whole, and different things that we've got going on in the world today because there's so much BS and so many lies that get told day in, day out. on both sides of the political spectrum, and it's just frustrating sometimes when you have to wade through all of that just to get some little nugget of truth out of it, and that's what the podcast is going to deal with, looking at all angles of the story, of the lie, of the daily news, of what politicians are saying, and what's going on in our world, because man, we really, really, really need the truth right now. We need people to lead us as an American people. I'm not going to rant on that. That's going to be on the podcast, but it is coming up. A Voice Above the Den, launching in another couple of weeks. I'm polishing up a few little episodes for it right now. So I hope you check that out. And if you do, now that one's going to be a little weird because I'm only going to use it in the free format on Buzzsprout. And if you use the free format, you get like, I don't know, 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most episodes that you can upload a month, and then they delete after the end of the month. So I'm going to see how the podcast does, and I'm going to see how much traction it gets and how much traffic it gets. And if it looks like it's going to, surpass what I'm doing now, then of course I'll turn it into a paid subscription. That way, the episodes will stay there and you can go back and listen to them. Anyway, enough about that. I ranted enough about that. So again, tonight, if you've got a topic, got something you want to talk about, something that you maybe is on your mind, or maybe you're passionate about, throw it in here. Hit the comments, man. That's what they're for. And if you do come in, and even if you just feel sorry for me, just hit that like. Just hit that like. That way, again, it helps the analytics of the channel, and it does help me to, I don't want to say garner a bigger audience, because that's really not what it does. But what it does, if you get enough views and you get the likes, and especially, it's all within the first, I don't know, a couple of hours, couple of days, if you will. How much traction your video is actually getting on YouTube. That's what pushes you up in the rankings, which is fine. Again, you have to love what you do. And I love creating content. I love running my mouth. I love getting on here on the camera. It used to be, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I commented on my first video I ever did. Man, you want to talk about somebody that was just, woo, I'm surprised I'm even still here talking and running my mouth, because man, my first starting was, oh no, feral cat calling. That's not good. But yeah, my first little video I ever posted here, man, I was just like, I was so timid. I can't believe how timid I was. I was like, hey guys, let's check this out. But go check that out. That's here on my channel. You can go check it out. I left it up there. And I still keep that old video, my very first video, shot with a cell phone. I remember at my dining room table, I thought I was going to change the world. I didn't. That's okay. That is quite all right. But that's the thing. You got to start somewhere. You got to do something to get your feet wet, to get you going, to get you out there, to get people to see what you're all about. And that's another cool thing too. Anybody that does create videos, you have that roller coaster. You're like, hey, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down, up, I'm down. Because you kind of get into a funk, if you will. You get into a little, I don't want to call it a vein, but sometimes you feel like, yeah, this is great, this is really cool. But then you put it out there, you give birth to it, if you will. Here's my creation. And everybody goes, okay, what else you got? And that's the fun part about creating content, just getting people to watch it, getting people to check it out. So for all of you just joining in, the Canon EOS M50 is my webcam of choice tonight. It is shooting in 720p. Hopefully it's going to give you a good, clear signal. The cool thing about using this, you can really, play with your lights and do some different things and set your aperture. Lots of stuff you can do with this Canon M50. Now, there's a lot of Canon cameras that you can do this with now, not just the EOS M50, but I'm kind of monitoring the battery to see how long it actually lasts. So far, we're about 20 minutes in, and the battery has been doing really well. It's still holding up there. Of course, I just changed it a little while ago, too. But, the Canon EOS M50, the battery life is not the greatest on these cameras, especially if you're shooting a lot of video, a lot of pictures. So it's always good to buy additional batteries. But right now, I'm really liking it. So hopefully, when I go back and watch this later on tonight, which is what I always do, I go critique myself. Trust me, if you guys make negative comments about the video or the audio or anything like that, that's totally fine, because what you're commenting is not going to be near as bad as what I'm telling myself when I'm watching this stuff later, because I want to see what I'm doing, if it gets better. And that's, let's talk about content creation. Why not? We're here. It's Saturday night. I got nothing better to do. That's the thing about content creation. You always want to watch what you're doing. You always want to see where you are and, what you've done better, what you did bad, what sucks, what worked, what didn't work. You really want to make sure that you're, jumping out there and critiquing yourself. Now, don't beat yourself up, hit yourself in the head with a bat, but you really want to critique yourself, and because that's the only way you get better. That is the only way you get better. Like with I hate to keep saying it, my podcast. I go back and listen to my original episodes that I've got. Hey, John, what's up, man? I don't know. I haven't checked I haven't checked it yet. I don't know if it's, I don't know if there is a overheating problem with the M50 or not. I've not heard any negatives as far as that goes, but who knows? There may be. I'm going to see. I'll check it out here in just a little while. Right now, I'm not getting any kind of warnings. I'm just really looking at the battery life. I would imagine that if it is going to overheat, it's gonna give me hopefully a warning before it gets to that point. Catman Chris's Facebook page. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I see a lot of cat posts on Facebook. I've never seen that. So, John, did you you release your video? I said you're going to do another Eat Like a Man. I was wondering. I haven't been on Facebook a lot today or Instagram. I hadn't even been on Facebook. I've been doing a bunch of different stuff today. I'm just kind of hanging out here around the house, and of course went to lunch with my wife. But I've been kind of monkeying with I got my hands on a bunch of different stuff. 24 minutes and gets hot. Okay, well, I'm at 22 right now. So I've got about, 22, 45, 46. So I've got about another minute. It's going to get hot. So let me see. Feeling the camera. Of course, I'm feeling the outside of it. Out tomorrow, cool, very cool. Well, if it overheats, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to shut her down. I don't want to damage my camera. Hopefully it'll shut down on its own if it overheats and lets me know. Okay, I'm at the 23 minute and 11 seconds. 40, 50, 60. Counting down. Counting down to the apocalypse. Yeah, I don't know. The new Canon, the R5? They said that Canon actually crippled that one on purpose. It doesn't really overheat as fast as they say it does, but they have it set to where the thing will come on and shut down. They have it where it'll shut down really quick, especially if you're shooting. I think it was at 4K, 8K, whatever it is it shoots in, but I don't know. They say it shuts down really fast. And the reason they do that is because they don't want you to push it too far to actually damage the camera. Anyway. So far, 24 minutes, no overheating yet. That's the thing though, John. I mean, if you're shooting video all day, I wonder, because really all it's doing is sending out a live feed. Well, the R5, from what I understand, is a great camera, but the only thing about it is like I was talking about, do the research on it, because Canon kind of, I don't know, they've really pissed off a lot of people with it because they put that cripple in there where it shuts down and says it's overheating when it's really not. I think there was a guy that did a test, and this was on the Camera Conspiracies YouTube channel. A guy put the thing in the refrigerator and let it run, and it still gave an overheat warning. So I don't know. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I like Canons. Canon's a comfortable format for me. I did like my Nikon for pictures, but I'm not a photographer, so that's the reason I got rid of that. There are times when I do miss the full frame of that, but again, for pictures, cripple hammer. But for pictures, Nikon's a great camera. I can't argue that at all. For me though, shooting video and doing stuff like this is more what I was, what I need the camera for. So this Canon series works just great for me. I think if Nikon could get their autofocus right when it comes to video, get that to where it actually works, on their larger cameras, I think they might do a complete turnaround on that. But, who knows? But I guess each their own. You just have to pick something that you're comfortable with and what you like doing. So for me, it's the Canon series cameras. Anyways. I know today I was monkeying around with DaVinci too, shooting some video, trying some different. The lighting. I think the lighting kind of sucks tonight. I've got a love-hate relationship with the lights that I actually use in my little room here. I don't they're almost too small and too focused. And I think because of that, I don't get enough diffusion. Now, I was looking at building a frame today and buying a white bed sheet because I've seen somebody do that before and it really diffuses the light well. So I'm thinking about doing that, trying that out. But I do like my lights. They're great for what they are, and I'm thankful that I've got them because they were free. But you know, they're kind of limited, especially when it comes to stuff like this. And they actually come with diffusers that go over the front of them. I've gone as far as to cut up a shower curtain and cut up a shower curtain and put on the yeah, it is. I agree with you. I agree with you. But I've gone as far as to put shower curtains over the lights, and then that way it diffuses it even more. But still, it's too focused. It's too narrow. That's what it is. It needs to be wider. But again, it's all about, experimenting, doing it again and again and again until you get it right. It's kind of like, anything else we do in life. But anyway, oh man, get my microphone adjusted here tonight. John, how's your weekend been, man? Been hanging out, just doing stuff. I saw your picture on Instagram. I did get to check that out. Hopefully everything's good with you and your world. I did post this to Facebook. I don't know if anybody ever joins from Facebook. I'm kind of tired of Facebook. It's kind of nasty. not the kill. I'm sorry. It's hot in here, guys. I'm just gonna have to deal with that audio because I need to turn my air conditioner back on. It is hot in here. I'm sweating. Ooh. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've taken a motor apart. A long time. You never forget how to do it. I mean, it's a simple process, but you know what, man, I just don't have the place to do it anymore. And, having to tear something apart like that and get knee deep into it, I just don't know if I'd have the patience anymore. I guess that happens when you get older, but I don't know. But it's good to know you could do it if you needed to. It's good to know if it came down to it, you could fix it. So that's I take pride in that. I'm not a prideful man, but I do take pride in things like that I've learned how to do stuff like that over the years. Like my wife's Ray Dunn coffee cup. Oh, goodness. Well, right now I am at 28 minutes and I don't see any overheat warnings on the camera. I don't see any indication that it's going to shut down. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know how this would, because it's really not actually recording. You're just kind of cheating it to go into, you're just doing an HDMI output technically, or a USB output on this. So I don't know. Maybe it will overheat. No, I keep checking. Not that touching the camera is actually going to do anything. I mean, I can feel the sensor. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I am just rambling. I hate the way this sounds whenever I have to run the air conditioner because I have to use an expander and gate on my mics. Whenever I start talking, the gate opens and it allows the audio to come through. And then you can hear the air conditioner in that. And then when I quit talking, the air conditioner goes away. Anyway. Well, yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. I'll check it out fully here in just a little while whenever I tear it down. Or we'll tear it down. Yes, I'm going to tear down the camera and I'll rebuild it this evening. No, whenever I, quit doing the live stream here in just a little bit. John, I wanted to show you some pictures that I took. Went to the Bigfoot Museum a couple weeks ago. Had a great time, man. I mean, it was a phenomenal time. We, a really cool little place in Blue Ridge, Georgia, Cherry Hill, Georgia. I showed these last week, but I wanted to show them again. But, we really had a good time. We went up there. That's where I got the sticker from my truck. In case you didn't know. Legend of Boggy Creek. Man, that movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, God, there's Bigfoot in the woods. This is just a funky little joint up in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And we had such a good time, man. The Expedition Bigfoot, that's where it was. Lots of cool, there's a lot of cool memorabilia there. There's a lot of cool pictures, a lot of, they're not, I don't know how much of this stuff was actually used in, Bigfoot expeditions. I think some of it was. I'm pretty sure that it was, but a lot of different exhibits they've got staged up there. And then you got me, that guy right there, the guy in the car, and my wife. Let's go to the other one. I think this was probably one of my favorites, just looking at the L radio there and the lantern and, the maps. The way they've staged this place is really cool. Now, this wall is a bunch of Bigfoot hunters. This is, these guys that go out and chase down Bigfoot, and they used to have speaking. I guess some of these guys here would actually come in and do some speaking engagements at the facility itself. I'll show you a picture of the place. I love the cast. I always remember, I talked about this before. I always loved watching, the Bigfoot hunting shows, especially when I was a kid, like In Search Of and different things like that, because, they always shows the cast. Yeah, we got this cast here, and it was, in the middle of nowhere it's just, I don't, did somebody make these footprints? I don't know. Is there a real Bigfoot? I don't know. Maybe. I'd sure like to see one if there are. This is a skunk ape cast. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, you just have to kind of take stuff like this and believe it or not. That's kind of like, you do what you want to do. Now, this is that little area I was talking about in the facility. This is where they would have speakers come in, but because of COVID and all the concerns with that, they don't have the speaking engagements anymore. I'm surprised they were even open, but they wear your mask and all that other good stuff. It's a really cool place, man. We had such a good time going up there. Just wandering around in there and looking at all the cool sights and different things. Again, pictures, statues. There's even a Bigfoot, a bunch of Bigfoot. I don't want to call them costumes and masks and different things like that. But again, we had we had a great time. It was a really good outing. I got a bunch more pictures. I didn't want to, flood this whole thing with those, but I've got a lot of different pictures that I want to put together in a video, talk about that, because Bigfoot fascinates me. Bigfoot is such a fascinating thing for me. But a lot of that comes from my child watching In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. That's kind of what really solidified it for me. Leonard Nimoy, what a legend, and I always enjoyed In Search Of. Loch Ness Monster. I don't think they've ever found the Loch Ness Monster. Is the Loch Ness Monster real? Maybe it is. I don't know. But all of those things, I think there's a lot of stuff in this world that we just don't understand. A lot of stuff in this world that, maybe does exist. Who knows? Yeah, when you go to that Creation Science Museum, John, I want you to take a bunch of pictures of that because you've got me interested in that. I'd like to see what some of the stuff is that's in there. So, this thing's still going pretty strong. I still don't see any kind of shutdown, warning or any kind of overheat warning. A conga eel? Is that what it is? Okay. I've never heard that before. A conga eel. Yeah, I don't know. I think, there's stuff that, I don't think we'll ever fully understand what is out there in this world. And right now, I mean, look at our government. They're actually talking about the existence of UFOs. The existence of UFOs. Can you believe that? And again, but you got to think about that too. UFO is an unidentified flying object. So it's fake ghost hunters. Yeah, those shows would probably be more believable if they weren't such bad overactors. Oh, really? Only weird DNA they can find. Like, okay. Yeah, the ghost hunter shows wouldn't be so bad if they weren't just, bad overactors. And that's basically what they are. They just get out there and it's like, oh, my goodness, we can tell. Just go home. Just set your camera up and go home. Talk about it, voice over it, whatever you need to do, after the video. After but people are fascinated by that. People just love it. They get drawn into it. They get sucked into it. Like, oh man, that's so fascinating. It's got to be real. It's on TV. It's on TV. It's real. It's so real. No, I didn't, John. No, I did not see that. Sophie, I did a podcast episode about hunting the paranormal with Chuck and Cindy Pierce. I know podcasts are not everybody's cup of tea, but go check that out. They've got some really interesting stories. Really cool couple. They talked about the, because they used to do paranormal investigation. And they've talked about they've had some experiences, and they talk about the very thing you just said there: very bad overacting, fake meters, all of that stuff. So, yeah, go check that podcast episode out. They are they're a really cool couple, and a really interesting story, and really, just the interaction between them was really good. So you got a real ghost in your house. Yeah, that's I have my views on stuff like that. I have my views on ghosts and different things like that. I don't deny their existence. I don't think that you have benevolent ghosts that come back and visit. I don't think that at all. Very cool. But that's the thing with that stuff, John. I don't think we're alone in this universe. I truly don't. For me to wrap my head around and fathom that as vast as the universe, the ever expanding universe is, that we're the only life forms here. It's just hard to. That's so hard to believe. I mean, my goodness. I mean, just trying to think about that is what hard for me to get my head around. So I think there's stuff out there. What that looks like, I don't know. Is it little green guys, little gray guys riding around in souped up, rocket ships? I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? I just don't think we're the only ones here in this universe. And I think trying to say that we are is, I don't know. That's, to me, I just can't get my head around being the only people here. I'm rambling, but who knows? Who knows, man? Maybe one day they'll come down like Independence Day. No, there's the question for you. There's the question. If they are real, are they bad or are they good? Are they coming to do evil, or are they coming to, save us as a race? Takes things, a kleptogeist. Yeah, no, that's a statement too, John. Will we ever come across it? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But I mean, and here's another thing too. If you want to say it's fishbowl theory, if you want to say that they come back to visit and see how we're doing, why? Why in the crap would they want to come see us argue and fight and kill ourselves and all these other crazy things that we do as humans? I mean, why? If they're so advanced, that's another thing too. If alien race is so advanced, I understand. And trust me, I believe that there is alien life form out there. But being as vast as they are, why would you even want to come? Why? Well, unless it's like a big circus, unless it's like the show. Hey, we're going to the show Saturday. You want to go? Yeah, let's go. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, then you got the ancient astronaut theory that we are a direct, like DNA spliced from these Anunnaki spliced into hominids, and breeding with people here and making us what we are today. That gets a little bit far fetched as well. I think. I don't know, but that's a crazy thing too when you look at. Absolutely. That's another thing too. When you look at Prometheus, great movie, love that movie. But if you watch, or if you look at any of the old cave drawings and different things like that, old carvings and things, but there's some real references there to things that would look like aliens, and I question some of that sometimes. What is that? What? It's kind of like what's the little caption there? If they saw it, they drew it, something like that. But I don't know. I don't know. It's fascinating to think about things like that. Perfect for life. Wow. There you go. How far is Jupiter from here, or Neptune, John? See, those are things I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. I'd have to go on Google. Google. I don't know. I just think there's a lot out there that we just don't know, that we've not yet explored or not yet encountered. And I think, I think at some point, whatever you believe, in your afterlife, whatever you believe, I think at some point we'll know. because I think we're just, I think once we transform or transform from this life to the next, I think a lot of things will be revealed to us. Ish. 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 That's a unit of measure, especially in the South. Ish. Anyway. Oh man, it's been a good conversation, I guess. Now you got me worried about my camera overheating, John. I think that thing's gonna start blowing smoke out of it. I keep trying to. I'm not touching. I'm not even feeling anything. I keep touching it. I don't know why I keep. Maybe let me check it again. Oh, jeez. But I do like the image quality. I like what I'm getting out of this, especially through OBS. And again, I don't know what it's going to look like on the tubes. I'll check that out here in just a little while when I go upstairs and eat and sit back. And my wife always makes the comment, we never turn the TV on because we're always sitting there on our phones, watching YouTube or watching something. Hardly ever watch TV. The only thing I'm watching right now, I am watching TV right now, is Dark, the third season of Dark. 164 years. Wow, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. But yeah, I'm watching Dark right now. If you're not watching Dark, I don't know what you think about time travel, wormholes, and different things like that. But Dark deals with that subject, and it's really fascinating. I love the way they shot the series. I love the colors. I love just the whole look of it just draws you in. And then now the only bad thing about it is it's all in German. 2.7 billion miles from the sun. It's not far. It's ish. But no, the whole thing about Dark, I do love that. And it deals with time travel and what could happen if, and trying to change things in a timeline and not being able to because it plays out. It's a loop. It's a constant loop. And I wonder that question too, especially when I talk about time travel. I wonder that question too, if you could go back or if you could go forward. If you could go back, let's say you could go back and change something, or the whole grandfather theory, go back and kill yourself. So you're never born, you never existed. Well, how did you get to that point to get there? So I don't think you could change the loop. I don't think you could really change anything or affect time in any way because it's going to play out the same over and over again, especially if it isn't a loop like a million and B. Especially if you're, in a constant loop that never ends. But again, time is something we invented. So could we travel in it? I'm sure. Scientists are starting to believe that, time travel is actually possible, but you'd have to go the speed of light and then come back. And then once you did that, you would be out of sync. I think it was just like seconds or minutes or something to that effect. So in essence, by the time you got back, you would be younger than those that are still here. It's crazy. And maybe I'm reading that wrong, but I was reading that the other day. Yeah. One of the things we used to use, Sophie, with the TV was like an antenna. I made an actual just antenna that I hung on the wall, and it actually worked. It picked up a lot of cool stations. We use YouTube TV now. It's one of the things we do. But again, that's starting to get a little bit crazy. It started out really good because we cut ties with cable. We said, done with cable, done with it, no more. Because it's just everything. Hey, we're going to add on this cost and this cost and that cost. And it's just got to the point where it's like, my God, do you want a second mortgage just so I can watch something on TV? So we got rid of that and went to YouTube TV. Started out really inexpensive. Now they're starting to tick back up. Yes, you are, John. That's the thing about it. We start that journey from the moment we take that first breath. Well, before that, but when we take that first breath, it officially starts for us. That clock starts ticking down, and we travel. The funny thing about time, or the concept of time, to me is, now it's, as a child, it seemed like time just drug on and on and on, and it took forever to get to holidays, birthdays, the weekend, the next day. But now, as an adult, especially a 52-year-old adult, I see time just ticking off faster and faster and faster. And I think it's because we come to terms with our own mortality. And it's like, yeah, I know this is coming, and I can't avoid it now. And I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not 15 anymore. I'm not 10 anymore. It just brings it more into focus, if you will. It brings it more into oh my God, this is real, time. And then it just starts speeding up. I think it's funny, especially having children. I watch them and, Okay. But I think of my children, and I watch them, and they the same thing I did as a child. God, hurry up. Okay, well, guys, I'm not overheating, but my battery's fixing to die. So I got 46 minutes out of a battery. This is going to cut off here in just a second, but I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I'm sorry, my battery's fixing to shut off. So if I do a live stream again, I'm going to pick up a what do you call it? A dummy battery. But anyways, John, Sophie, thank you for coming in tonight. I do appreciate it. And I'll try to do this again next weekend. Hopefully I can get some more people in so we can get some comments going, some conversations going. There it goes. Thank you guys.